have our next two finals to come. It is the women's floor and the parallel bars. Well, here come the athletes. These are the women's floor finalists. And here are the men who will be competing on the parallel bars. France, of course, well represented again. Melanie de Jesus dos Santos. Will she be able to add another medal to France's collection and to her own personal collection? Well, it will be Charlize Mertz who gets the women's floor final underway, followed by Alexa Moreno, who's already been in action today. Melanie de Jesus dos Santos. Expect huge noise from the crowd. She got gold on the bars earlier. Can she get a medal on the floor? The French crowd will certainly hope so. She'll certainly hope so. Nata Kabeya of Japan, who we've just seen in action on the vault, will be starting things off on the parallel bars, followed by Leo Saladino and his French teammate Cameron Lee Bernard. Charlize Mertz, 17-year-old from Eisenstadt in Austria. Gets us underway first of all. 5th in qualification. Charles Mertz of Austria. 5th in qualification. She says her ambition is to compete at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. If she doesn't make it there, at least she can say she has competed in the arena in Paris in which the Games will be held. Well, her father is Michael Mertz, professional footballer, who earned 12 caps for his country. I'm sure he's proud of his daughter's sporting prowess. Hinata Kabeya finished 5th in qualifying. We've just seen him in action on the vault. Well, there was the big step backwards on landing, but other than that, that was a really measured, composed, clean performance from Hinata Kabeya of Japan. Created really nice angles. Well, the familiar purple hair of Alexa Moreno, she is next up on the floor. 4th best in qualification. Alexa Moreno of Mexico. Well, a 13.7 is the standard that's been set on the floor, on the bars rather. Can Leo Saladino of France top that? The crowd will want him to, of course. He was 4th in qualification. He had one of the higher difficulty scores, second highest difficulty score in fact. It was only Lucas Dauser, the top qualifier, who had a higher difficulty score. So if he can nail his execution, Leo Saladino. Spoke too soon, that is unfortunate. Well, the Frenchman will just take a moment to recompose himself before he gets back onto the parallel bars. His balance just a little bit off there. Caught himself on the bars rather than through them. Well, a big cheer goes up. Alexa Moreno also applauding Leo Saladino's performance. .3 for Alexa Moreno. She is the one to beat so far on the floor. Higher than her qualification score. Melanie de Jesus dos Santos, the gold medalist on the bars. Well, that was an assured performance from the French gymnast Melanie de Jesus dos Santos. I'm sure she could barely hear the music over the cheers of the French crowd. Every time she ran into a tumbling pass, the cheers went up. The noise was phenomenal. as the crowd cheered on their athlete. She looked like she really enjoyed that as well. The crowd certainly did. And for this gymnast, training alongside the great Simone Biles has clearly done a lot for her confidence, her skill. And I'm sure she'll be hopeful of picking up another medal here in Paris today. Well, Leo Saladino, disappointment for him having come off the bars. He shakes his head as the judges reveal their scores. I'm sure his attention now will turn to his teammate Cameron Lee Bernard as he goes next on these parallel bars. Well, he was third in qualifying with a high difficulty score of 6.3. Oh, well, what a performance from the Frenchman. He loves it. He's delighted. He claps himself. I'm sure he's clapping the crowd as well to thank them for their support. And could that performance have got him onto the podium? He looks pleased anyway. It was really fluid. It was really confident. It was a really well-worked routine. Safely through all of the elements. Big dismount, well controlled. He looked like he was smiling before he even hit the ground. .650. First place for France so far. And that is higher than the score she achieved as the top qualifier. Jade Barbosa, another Brazilian gymnast. She finished third in qualification. Well, there was some really dynamic tumbling in that routine from Jade Barbosa, the two-time bronze medalist at the World Championships, two-time Olympian, 32-year-old from Rio, showing the youngsters how it should be done. Well, look at the face, look at the reaction, listen to the noise from the crowd, and look at the score, 14.6, that is huge. He knew it was a good performance as soon as he'd landed. He knew even before he'd stuck his landing that he'd done a good routine. And he is now the man to beat, Bernardo Miranda of Brazil. That is a tough act to follow, that is for sure. Bernardo Miranda was 6th in qualification. That was a nice, neat, tidy display from Bernardo Miranda and an exuberant celebration afterwards. In qualifying, he got a 14.250. Can he top that? Well, Jade Barbosa is in second place so far, but it is still the French athlete Melanie de Jesus dos Santos who is at the top. I do think that Barbosa is deserving of a place on the podium as things stand. We are now at the midway point through the women's floor and the men's parallel bars. We'll have confirmation shortly of Bernardo Miranda's score and the overall standings as things are at the moment. Bernardo Miranda scores well, a 14.5, and he's really delighted with that. Really pleased, as well he should be. And Camille Lee Bernard will be relieved because he is still at the top. And it is Renata Cabella in the bronze medal position. Leo Saladino disappointed, having come off the bars. He is in fourth position as things stand at this halfway point.
Allez, public, on encourage ceux qui vont entrer en compétition dans quelques instants, bien évidemment, faites du bruit pour eux, s'il vous plaît. On encourage tous les Gilles qui sont venus du monde entier, ils sont là pour
Lucas Dauser looking pensive, surveying the apparatus before it's his chance to take to the bars. Kaija Tanskanen is next on the floor. Finnish athlete. 7th in qualification. Kaija Tanskanen was born in Michigan, representing Finland. Comes from a gymnastics family. Her father won Finnish national titles. Her uncle also competed and won gold in the horizontal bar at the 1997 World Championships. Her mother is a coach, and her parents own the Mega Fun and Fitness Gym in Michigan. So she has grown up with gymnastics, very much in the blood. She says her ambition is to compete at the Olympics in Paris next year. Kotaro Suetsugi is next up on the men's parallel bars. Suetsugi was second in qualifying. Now his difficulty is a 5.9, lower than Cameron Lee Bernard, lower than Leo Saladino, and lower than Lucas Dowser. Those were the top 4 in qualifying. So he'll need to execute this routine very well indeed if he's to get close to Cameron Lee Bernard at the top of the standings. He got a 14.650 in qualifying. Cameron Lee Bernard is currently at the top with a 14.6. Very solid performance indeed from the Japanese gymnast. I wonder whether we'll see him atop the podium. These elements were really well worked. Very smooth transitions. Decent landing too. Well, Kaija Tanskanen will not be on the podium at the end of this floor final. Cassandra Loostelot, 7th in qualification for Mexico. Sandra Listelot, a confident performance from the Mexican. Well, she was part of the team that won gold this year at the Central American and Caribbean Games in San Salvador. The tumbling was tidy, her landing's good. Oh, Kotaro Suetsugi currently in third place, tied with Bernardo Miranda, the same score as the Brazilian. Ron Piatov of Israel. He was 7th in qualification. We haven't seen much of this athlete on the World Challenge Cup circuit this year. In Varna in Bulgaria last year, he didn't make any of the finals, so to have qualified here in Paris among such a strong field is quite some accomplishment. Stuck his landing. And that was a very confident performance indeed from Ron Piatov, 22-year-old from Israel. Cassandra Listelot defied the qualification rankings to take 4th spot as things stand. This is Hallie Hilton representing Ireland. Hallie Hilton of Ireland, medalist in the Northern European Championships last year. She was a former British junior national team member and switched allegiance to Ireland and then competed at the European Championships. Trains at the same gym as Adam Steele, who we saw competing earlier on the pommel horse for Ireland, who also switched allegiance from Britain. Ron Piatov, 4th place. Mitchell Morgans of Australia. Well, he was 8th in qualification with quite a high difficulty, certainly relative to his ranking in that qualification. Pretty solid from Mitchell Morgans. His celebration suggests that he thinks so too. Years old now, a relative veteran of the sport. Flavia Saraiva of Brazil is last up on the floor. Well, Flavia Saraiva of Brazil was 2nd in qualification behind the French gymnast Melanie de Jesus dos Santos. 13.650 is the score she needs to beat if she's going to get the gold. She got a 13.3 in qualification. And to get onto the podium, that's what she needs. Well, there was that step just out of bounds there. This was a really vibrant, dynamic, fun routine, and she looked like she had fun doing it. She had a big smile on her face throughout. First place for Mitchell Morgans of Australia. I'm not sure that he was expecting that. And that means that he knocks Cameron Lee Bernard off the top spot, but only just. Lukas Dauser, the world medalist, the German, is the last up on the bars. He was the top scorer in qualification. He has the highest difficulty, 6.6. He scored a 15.3 in qualifying, the only gymnast to get into the 15s in his scoring. Will he be the last gymnast to go and come along and totally upset the standings? Very nice performance indeed from Lukas Dauser of Germany. He knows it too. Look at him celebrating. He wants that gold medal. Problem is, so do many others. Well, that score is not enough for Flavia Saraiva to get onto the podium, and the huge cheers go up because Melanie de Jesus dos Santos takes the gold. That is another medal for France. Melanie de Jesus dos Santos, that year of training alongside the great Simone Biles, clearly paying off. That's her second gold medal of the day, first on bars, now on the floor, and she goes over to congratulate her fellow competitors, to shake hands, to show some really great sporting spirit there. What a day it's been for France here in Paris in the Olympic Arena. Well, we heard the chants of Melanie, Melanie earlier on today. We can hear them again because there she is once again on top of the rankings. Another gold medal for Melanie de Jesus dos Santos. Jade Barbosa of Brazil taking the silver. Well, we await the final scores for the men's parallel bars. Will Lukas Dauser be on the podium? I'm sure he will. But what colour will the medal be? It's gold. He's the only gymnast once again to score in the 15s, a 15.250. Pretty much the same as he achieved in qualification, 15.3. Not too much in it. But Lukas Dauser, he takes the gold for Germany. He knocks Cameron Lee Bernard of France off that top spot. He'll have to settle for silver. But that is another medal for France. Yet another medal for the host nation. Cameron Lee Bernard takes the bronze. It's Mitchell Morgans who takes the silver. And Lukas Dauser of Germany ahead of the rest.